Hey, what's going on? This is Chef Carl from Cooking the Griddle with Carl, and in this video, I'm going to be making for you a reverse seared chuck roast right after this. All right, before we get started with the video, let me show you the ingredients I'll be using. As you can see, I got a nice size, two nice size chuck roasts. I'm actually only going to be cooking one. All right. For this recipe, I'll also be using some butcher's twine. And here's two of the seasons I'll be using, along with some sea salt. And so right here, I'm gonna just truss my chuck roast. And what I mean by truss is I'm gonna tie it up so it keeps its shape, because there's a lot of fat in the middle that can separate while it's cooking. Alright, so I got that all tied up and trussed. So now I'm going to put on some sea salt, and I'm going to do a process called dry brining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put sea salt on both sides, and then I'm going to put the chuck roast in the refrigerator overnight. Alright, that's going to add flavor, and it's also going to tenderize it a little bit. Alright, so now that the chuck roast has been dry brined, I'm going to go into the oven at 275 degrees for as long as it takes for it to get to about 125 internally. Alright, so I threw some fresh herbs on top of there as well. Alright, so I'm going to be checking the temperature at the thickest part of the meat. Alright, so it went a little bit above 125, but that's fine. Alright, so right here I'm just going to prepare some shallots, some garlic, and right there I got some butter that I'm going to use to baste the meat. So I'm basically going to cook this chuck roast like a steak. I'm going to pan sear it just like I would a ribeye or a tenderloin. And I'm just crushing the garlic so more of that flavor will get into the steak and get into the butter. Alright, so I got my cast iron pan nice and hot. I already put some oil in there. And so here I am going down with the chuck roast. Alright, so I'm going to put a steak weight on it, and I'm going to forget about it. What I want to do is get a nice crust, a nice sear on that steak, or on that chuck roast rather. Alright, so it's been a couple of minutes. And as you can see, I got a nice crust. Just moving that oil around so it can sit in the oil, and now I'm going to put it down on the other side. Going back down on my steak weight, and I'm going to give it a few minutes to develop a crust on that side. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. I've given both sides time to get that nice crust that I was looking for, and now I'm getting ready to move on to the basting process. So right here I just went in with a stick of Kerrygold butter. Now I'm going with my chopped shallots, or my cut up shallots. Going in with my crushed garlic. And now I'm going in with some fresh herbs for some aromatics on the steak. Alright. So now I got that butter nice and melted and browning up. Now I'm going to start basting the steak with that brown butter. It's going to give it a lot of flavor, and it's going to make it really juicy. Alright, right here I'm going down with the seasoning that I'm using. You can use any seasoning you want, Lorry, salt and pepper. So as you can see, I'm tilting the pan to pull up that butter. And so I threw the fresh herbs on top of the steak, so as I baste it, that flavor should go into the steak. Also, keep in mind, this chuck roast is really thick. It's probably about 1.5 inches thick. So you got to baste it a little bit longer than you would maybe a steak that's only like a ½ inch thick or even an inch thick, if you want that butter to penetrate into that meat. Alright, so I got the basting process all done. Now I'm going to put it onto a sheet pan with a wire rack so it can rest. And I'm going to let it rest for at least 15 minutes. Allow those juices to stop flowing, so when you cut into it, all the juice won't run out. Alright, so looking at it, you would think that's a big ribeye, right? And that's the thing about this process. It'll make it look like it's a steak. When in most cases, people are using chuck rolls for pot roast or stew or something like that, or braising the meat. But in this case, I pretty much did the reverse sear method. Basted it with some butter, some fresh herbs and everything like that. Got that nice crust that I was looking for, and I got it to come out looking just like a steak, and it should eat like a steak. And when I say eat like a steak, I mean, be nice and tender like a ribeye. Alright, so I cooked it to a medium rare, and that's what I wanted to let you know about the temperature. 125 is about medium rare. Alright, and if you want it more than that, you can bring it up to 135, 140. I mean, you can bring it all the way up to 165 if you want it totally well done. Yeah, and I'm sure some people are going to be looking at this like, man, that thing isn't cooked, isn't cooked the way I like it. And most of the people I know, they like their steaks like medium well to well, but to me, to get the most flavor out of it and the juiciness out of it, medium rare to medium is always my preferred cook temperature. And also to keep a steak nice and tender, you can't overcook it. I've been working in restaurants a long time, and trust me when I tell you, most people that order a quality steak, they're going to get it, between medium rare and medium, because they understand that's where most of the flavor's at. Alright, so on that note, I just want to, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. If you made it this far, it definitely supports the channel. Also, you can check me out on social media at Cooking and Grilling with Carl. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about the this ancho chili oil that I'm about to put up there. It's by Kinder's. I found this at Sam's Club, so I gave it a try, and it worked out very well. I also used Kinder's steak seasoning with the black garlic and truffle. That was really good on this steak as well. Alright, so on that note, I thank you for coming to the channel and checking out another video. Check out some other videos on my channel. Also, let me know in the comments if you tried this method, and let me know how it came out. On that note, I say God bless. Catch you on the next video. Peace.